Your Excellency, we'd love to learn more about your culinary experience in Romania. So here are a few quick questions about food taste and culinary discovery.
Yeah.
What are some Romanian dishes you've discovered since moving in Bucharest and truly surprised or impressed you?
Well, I generally say I'm very impressed by the Romanian cuisine. It's really delicious. It separates itself from other Eastern European countries like the Czech Republic or Poland by being inspired by its more southern and western neighbors, and I really like that makes an original Romanian cuisine that many people travel here to try, and so did I as well. I like both the more fancy ones, but also the more stable day-to-day dishes such as sarmalele or micii and so on. It's really wonderful, and I always order that when I can, when I'm in a traditional Romanian restaurant.
How would you describe the differences between traditional Danish cuisine and what you've discovered here in Romania?
Well, the Romanian cuisine is much more rich. I hate to admit, but Danish traditional cuisine is not very special. We have some very good traditional, particularly fish dishes, some pork dishes, but in general they are not very special. On the contrary, then we in the later years, starting from the 1970s and after a time, had this wave of new Nordic cuisine based itself on local products and on very sophisticated modern thinking of how you make food, and that's suddenly made over the last decades Danish restaurants and cuisines to blossom, so that we have so many Michelin stars today of Danish restaurants and a whole new modern cuisine that is also copied to some extent here in Romania and in Bucharest. The most famous Danish restaurant is Norma, but there are many other restaurants that have been inspired by this philosophy, even dogma of a special way of committing to local products, a special way of making food that is inspired by traditional Nordic cuisine.
So if you have talked about local products, are there any Romanian ingredients or local products that you've incorporated in your own cooking or daily meals?
Well, the first that comes to mind is maize or corn, of course, which is not common in the Danish cuisine, but so much here. So I like the mamalika and all the other many products, including the Maya bread that I eat a lot because I like the context, I like the taste, but it's also to some extent very healthy, I think so. So I that's one ingredient, but there are many others. Certainly, as a northerner, what strikes me is that your vegetables are very fresh and juicy here. So I would probably use more vegetables in my daily meal than I would do in Denmark.
How important is sustainable food consumption to you personally, and do you find Romania aligned with Denmark in this respect?
Well, sustainable food is important. We actually also have some Danish companies that try to introduce sustainable agriculture to Romania, and one of the effects of that is that you can actually, if you change your agricultural production to a less to a way of working that is less burdening on the climate, then you can earn emission rights and you can sell them, and you can actually make a profit out of that. So this is some of the ways that the Danish companies in the agricultural sphere are working here, and we're very focused on that as well. But another trend that I'm also very much into in Denmark is avoiding food waste. using all the ingredients as much as you can. I think the Romanians are good at doing that as well, but I certainly am personally as well. So that's both not buying more food than you actually can eat, and you try to use all the ingredients as much as possible. I think that's a nice trend. I really feel comfortable with not throwing too much food out in my private kitchen as well.
Indeed. If you had to recommend one Romanian food to someone visiting for the first time, what it would be and why? You have spoken about sarmale and mici. Would be this an option?
Certainly, sarmalele is one of the things I very much suggest, of course accompanied by the obligatory mamalika and also the hot red pepper or hot green pepper that comes along. So I recommend that. There are many pork dishes here which are like Denmark is a very pork heavy country as well. So I would also recommend that to many people. One thing I personally very much like is mutton or sheep meat, and I'm surprised there's not much more than this here in Romania. Given that you actually have many sheep, but you tend not to eat them yourself. But that's something that we don't have that much of in Denmark, and I'm also surprised at how sheep meat and beef is so expensive here, which sort of makes you come back to the pork, which is a very Danish thing, and we appreciate it. But I like the other parts of the Romanian cuisine as well.
Thank you very much for this discussion.
You're welcome.